Hey, what's up, class? This is attempt number 2. Completely butchered the last attempt. So this is the lesson that some of you did yesterday in class. Some of you are about to do it today in class, but kind of changed it up in between the two classes. I'll explain that. But yeah, it's kind of forcing you to use the tool Breakpoints in Matlab, which is a great way to debug code when it's not working. But today we're using it as a tool just to further understand code and what's actually occurring and how this code is changing the variables and how the loops are changing the variables, how the inputs are changing the variables, and how the processes are changing the variables and how it's executing what we want. So last class, yesterday, I made the Red Day class write in the Google Doc each line what it's doing, but it makes a lot more sense. I don't know why I didn't think about this, to have you comment directly on the code. So you can copy and paste this code, which I've already done, put into Matlab, and leave commenting on it. You add a break line to line 1, okay, which is done by just clicking here. The program has to be saved to be able to do this, but that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so I'm going to quickly run through this program, show you what it does, and we'll kind of go from there and actually use the breakpoint. So we're going to turn the breakpoint off, run it. Okay, how many pendulum lengths do you want to enter? Let's say 4. Okay, and then it's going to ask me what's the length of the first pendulum. 2. What's the length? This is awkward. You know how many times I've done this program and it's worked? I deleted a line. Oh, well, let's copy and paste the original. I don't know how that happened. This is awkward. Copy. Paste. Bam. This line was deleted. Let's run again. Okay, worksheet 1, 3, 5, 2, 9. 1.0, that's awkward. What it does is it tells you, after putting the pendulum length, what is the length of the period. Okay? The period with the length of 5 meters is 5, 4, 1, 9. So it outputs that every time, and then it outputs at the end a plot of all your data points that you've created. So we're going to go step by step through the code and kind of figure out how we're doing it. Let's first clear everything. Okay? And then what a breakpoint does is it pauses the code when you run it at that point, and then you have to step by step go through the lines of code. And it's great because you see the variables changing in here, you see what it's actually processing, and it kind of gives you a better idea of the code. And once again, not this code, as we saw, executes well, but when you're working and you run into a problem, this is a great way to kind of figure out where my variables not doing what I want, where is it happening, where they're not getting into the loop, where they're not getting out of the loop, and why. And we're going to get an example of that next class as we do another lesson like this. That is with a code that doesn't work and that's incomplete. Okay, so run, paused, cool. So then step. So this line of code, how many pendulum lengths do you want to enter? Let's say 4 this time, okay? So 4, enter. So what this line of code does, let's comment. So to comment, once again, it creates a non-executable line of code. It's green. But it's a really good way for you to document what you're doing, and then if you share this code with someone, it's really helpful in your thought process of the code. Okay, so what we are doing here, I'm talking to myself over here. No, you're fine. No, it's good. I think it adds to the video, right? Miss Fiori just came in, and I felt really awkward. Okay, so where was I? How many pendulum lengths do you want to enter? So this allows the user to input how many pendulum lengths they will enter. This number is assigned to the variable n. So as we see, we entered 4, and now it's assigned, the variable n is now created, and it is equal to 4. Cool. Okay, so let's go to the next line. Step. So this is cool, and this is something that I do a lot when writing. Some people do it differently. But what I'm doing is creating a vector, name period, okay, that is all zeros, okay, and this is kind of where we will store our data as we go through the for loop, okay. So every period will be stored there, and then I'm creating a length one too. Now, as you notice, it's 1 column, 1 row, and then it's n plus 1 column. So in this case, it's 5, but it's basically creating a vector that has 1 extra space in it, more than the input that the user inputted. So creates a vector with the name period that creates a vector of zeros with the name period that is has one more column than the user input n. Okay? Cool. And then we do it again, and it's length, exact same thing. So now we have two vectors of zeros, one title length, one title period, and they all have one extra column. So if you, since we inputted 4, it has 5. If we had inputted 7, we want 7 title lengths, it would have 8, so on and so forth. So let's copy and paste this. Okay, put it here. Cool, and then let's just change this to length. Awesome. So we're all along. Okay. Now we're about to enter the for loop. So let's see what happens. As we've gone over, when you have a for loop, you want to do it over a set number of points, right? A set number of times. So you want the loop to run through a certain number of times. To do that, you usually create a vector. So we're creating a vector C that goes from 1 to n. Okay? So this will run through how many times? Hopefully we'll figure it out. 4 times in this area, but whatever the user inputs. So for loop that will execute n times vector it will run through the vector C that goes from 1 to n with a spacing of 1. Awesome. Cool. So let's see. So we're about to enter the loop for the first time. Now we see C is equal to 1. And this is what we've learned in the past, but it's a good visualization of it. Okay. So now the next line. What is the length of the pendulum? It's another user input. So let's say 3. Okay. So now we have a variable L that's assigned to the input that we entered, which was 3. So it allows user to input a pendulum like this. Number is assigned to the variable L, capital L. I was using lowercase l last class, and they got frustrated because it looked like a 1. Understandable, because then they couldn't find variable anywhere. Okay, so now, next line, let's see, calculates the period. So this calculates the period based on the user input. Okay, so now we have another variable, period. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before. We are now going to take what we just got from the user and what we calculated based on this equation and put them in the vectors that we created, length and period. Okay, so at the place row 1, column 1, because C is equal to 1, we will input the new in L that was just inputted by the user. Okay, so it kind of takes it and places it into the vector, so we store it for later use. Okay, so the variable L is stored in the vector period location 1C. So column 1, row 1, column C. So the first time it's going to be the first column. Second time through, the C is going up by 1. Third time, C is 3, column C. And we'll see this happen when we run through this. Okay? So let's step it. Bam, 3 is now in that first column. Period, same exact thing. 3.4764 is now in that first column in the period. So exact same thing, except the variable T is stored in, well, the vector length. This is period, this is length, this is awkward. If you're confused, I'm sorry. Now we got it. Okay, this one's length, this is period. Okay. So now once again, we're storing what we just got, the variable L, the variable T, in these. And as we go through the for loop, it will continue to be stored in the successive place. Okay. Now we're outputting L and T, so outputs variables L and T. Okay, so the period of the pendulum with a length of 3 meters is 3.48. It should say seconds, but I didn't. Bam, back to the loop again. Now C is equal to 2. Okay, calculate input new L. Okay, I'm going to do larger number 7. Okay, now our new L is 7. It's no longer 3. That's the beauty of the for loop. Our new T is 5.3103, but we got to save these numbers. So we're saving them in the length vector, 7, bam, 5.313 in the period vector. Output again. Okay, let's go through again. 2 more times. Okay, and what is the length of 100 meters? Let's go smaller, 2. Okay, and then calculates T, new T, 2.8385. Step again. T2 is stored in the C location, which is now 3. So C is now 3. Bam. New period stored in the C location, which is 3. Output. Go through again. One last time, I'm going to go larger. We're going to go 9. Okay. Calculates new T. Now C is 4, so it's going to be stored in the 4 location. Okay. New period, we can't see it. Okay, cool. So then we're going to leave. We have this vector 3729. Okay. 3, 5, 2, 6, 0. Okay. And the goal is to plot these once again. But sadly, if we plot them in this order, and now hopefully now you're seeing why we left a 0, 0. So it's for a plot. So that's why we put one extra spot, because if our plot was going to be complete, have a complete line to the origin, you need that 0, 0 place. So that's the reason I did that, and we'll see that in a sec. But once again, if we plotted this, it would go from 3 to this point, then the line would go to this point, then it would go to that point. So it's going to be kind of bam, bam, bam. So that's going to be an awkward looking relationship and not what we want to show. So we need to sort them. So just this function, sort function, sorts the length vector from smallest to largest values. Okay, so just reorders. Let's say so. Sort function reorders the values in the length vector from smallest to largest. Okay, so let's see it. Let's see it happen. Watch the length vector when I step at 3 minutes. Bam. Now it's sorted. Okay, same thing with period. Bam. Okay. So then let's copy and paste. And once again, big purpose is to see you guys how you should comment code. I know this is a pain, you don't want to do it, but it does help a lot. When you come back to something, you're like, why did I do this? Okay, this is straightforward. Plots length vector data versus period data. Okay, so let's hit the step. Bam, now we see it. Okay. The cool thing about this is we're seeing it add the title. Okay. Seeing it add the X label and the Y label. Now our code is done. Okay. So let's come out this. Okay, add title. X label axis. Label. Y axis. Let's make this work. Not that it matters at this point. Cool. Okay. So once again, usually use the breakpoint function to kind of help you debug. But this kind of was a good exercise to see what's going on with the code, how it's actually working, how the for loop is the purpose of each thing, and that's why you have to do this. Next time we do it, you're going to actually be working through the code yourself. Okay, and figuring out why it's not working, hint, 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 and also how to complete it. It's going to just help you with that. Okay, commenting, obviously, really important. Cool. Again, thanks for listening, class.